Excited to get back on the court. It's been a while, and we're anxious for league play, especially because our last two conference games, we dropped them, and it's important for us. We're excited to get back on the court and try to get that win. We're going over to Culver, which is a tough place to play. They're 0-3 in league play. They certainly do not want to go 0-4. We certainly have ambitions to do some things in this league and try to finish in the top tier, and so it's important for us to make sure we find a way to win this thing. So we think it's going to be a dogfight. We're going to see a familiar face in Coach Bergen, who spent the last couple of years with us and is a dear friend of the program. We haven't talked with her much this week, but we know she'll have the kids ready to play. They've got a really solid group. They are having some ups and downs this year as they transition with the new staff, but they do some things that can be dangerous. First, they start with Randy Lee Plunkett, who leads the team in field goals attempted, leads the team in scoring, free throws attempted. She was freshman of the year in the league last year, so she could be very effective. She's a long guard that they run her off a bunch of screens, ball screens particularly, and that can be challenging. She has a tremendous mid-range game, but also can hit the shot behind the arc, and so we need to make sure that we have a plan for Randy Lee, number 14. She has the ball in her hands probably 65-70% of the time for Culver, and so she's a weapon. Katie Davis, another sophomore. They've got a couple really nice younger players, like we said. Katie Davis is a 6-foot forward that leads the conference in rebounding. She gets a lot of baskets off offensive rebounds and putbacks. She's extremely effective there. She's a high-level rebounder, especially on the offensive end. So we've got to make sure we get a body on her. We got to make sure we're blocking her out. We also have to make sure with all their post players, we're running them in transition and we're making them guard us so they exert a amount of energy on that end of the court. Jasmine Matthews, another sophomore, long athletic forward, shoots a high percentage from the free throw line, strong athletic kid. Then they also have a kid that's come on of late, Lois Young, 40. Had 18 and 10 in the last game against Evangel, where they were in that game until late and Evangel pulled away. But Lois Young is a kid that when she's interested, she's pretty good. Kansas City kid, strong lower body kid that can dig in deep and do some things and can be really effective. So we've got to make sure we have a plan for them. For us, we've talked about going over there. They're going to be geared up. They're going to want to play hard and do some things for Coach Bergen. You know, our kids, again, it's going to be that game that's kind of a big-time situation for both of us to get that conference win. We kind of set the magic number at 59. We feel like for every point that we get at 59 or above, the chances of us winning go up exponentially. We feel like for every point we hold them at 59 and below, our chances of winning go up exponentially. We think that's kind of that line of demarcation that's important for us tomorrow. We know that they struggle to score at times, and we certainly don't want to come in defensively and allow them free throws, offensive putbacks, those kind of things that they can have some success with. We're going to see some zone, which is going to be interesting. We saw some zone down in Nashville and did some good things with it, but this is a good active zone. We weren't very good against a good active zone against Baker, and so it's going to be exciting to see what we can do against that 2-3 zone. We've got to make it shift. We can't settle for the first jumper that we get. And then, you know, the stat that was in an article that was written a couple weeks ago is we're 23-1 when holding people to 60 points or less. And so that's important. That's an important stat for us to share with our kids. It's an important stat for us to know as a staff that, you know, we want to do some things offensively. It's important that we value the ball. It's important we get to the free throw line. It's important we make threes. But defensively, we've got to know who we're guarding. We've got to know what they do. In Culver's sake, we've got to know we got to be prepared to defend those screens. And then we got to keep them from getting easy baskets, free throws, offensive putbacks, etc. So, again, we're excited about seeing our good friend Coach Bergen. We know she's going to have her group ready to play. Culver is a tough place to play. We've been fortunate to go over there my first couple years and get some wins there. We've been fortunate to have some success against the program. But, you know, this is a new coaching staff. She's got this young group playing hard, and anytime a group plays hard, it can be dangerous. And put into the magnitude of them not wanting to go to 0-4, us not wanting to go to 1-3 in league play, and it's going to be a nice matchup.